Welcome to the Imaginarium. Welcome back. Welcome back to Inherited Earth, Junior Marshals. We may have a new student in class today. Welcome to you. Let's get where we were before. A little bit of recap from the parties who were present at our last session for the parties who were not present at our last session. That'll also be recap for anybody joining us. Shaq pointing at. It's going to be Lou.
All right. So Lou did a lot of the snacking and cooking with the otters. Sorry, not the otters. The squirrel folk. They're not otter folk. They're squirrel folk. He played some hack. That was pretty great. Hacked for a good long while and was pretty impressive. And then ended up going for a walk with Nasha, and because she was looking a little funny towards our hosts, and I thought maybe I should keep an eye on our murder guest, our murder partner Nasha. So followed along, and that turned out to be a dramatic affair that I would not be the person to share.
Nasha, that's you.
On a related note, yeah, so Nasha woke up from the shock nap, dazed and confused, but feeling pretty good.
Hungry.
Yeah, hungry. Walked outside, saw some very confused looks from the bus, and walked around the corner to discover that squirrels having a cookout, which not something you see every day. Big squirrels, Ewok squirrels, and was sort of bemused by all of this, but there was food, so as a great man once said, fuck it. And so probably several, but in the process of interacting with these child-sized squirrels, was trying to figure out what they were, trying to understand them, and trying to figure out how they came to be, and was looking into the dark, into the magical essence of the world, and saw a bright, brilliant, blazing light coming from John and Maggie Tuttle. And they clocked that I was now seeing this. And what Nasha first assumed was something along the lines of a denim jacket of many things, was in fact, which, again, the most native magic item that I have ever thought of. But John motioned her over, and they went and stood by what was it, like a barn?
It's the shed.
A shed of some kind, yeah. And said, I don't think we've been properly introduced. You're Nasha, and I'm John Painted Turtle. At which point Nasha lost her shit. For reasons that I'm sure I'll be explaining in the imminent future. But suffice it to say, we just met a mythical being who told us to keep doing what we're doing. That was about it.
Yeah, that about covers it. That about covers the whole thing.
She spent the rest of the episode stuttering. Yeah.
Also, Judith taught some children to gamble.
Honestly, the highlight of last.
I did not meet a mythical god or whatever, but she did teach children how to gamble. That's a skill you can use for a lifetime. I just wanted to say that.
Like not untrue. I mean,
yeah.
No, that is accurate. So let's take just a moment here, actually, to kind of recap, not the session last week, let's refamiliarize specifically with you, Judith. Is that back home in Chicago? Is that gambling? That is essentially your occupation. You are a professional gambler of sorts.
Um, yeah, like a raconteur. She kind of will like maybe find stuff for people or just kind of like do odd jobs, but like nothing physical. She's way too like lazy for that. And you know, she can find stuff to do. She can find people to help, or you know, she's got enough of a family and like enough people that she knows. Just you know, do you need help with something? I can help you with this. You help me with that. So I mean, I guess the gambling is like her main job, but she does quite a few different things. It's kind of whatever she can get her hands on, I guess. Like whatever is kind of interesting to her at the time, or if somebody's in trouble, she'll help them. But you know, she's kind of where the wind blows.
Right. Perfect. Just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to make any assumptions.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you know, I want to make an ass out of me and Umption. So to Judith, yeah, that would be an actual life skill. I look, if it won you a whole car, who knows what these kids could do with it down the line, you know?
Yeah, Judith is definitely someone who's like, you know, you make your own luck. Not so much cheating, though. I mean, if it happened, it happened. But like, it's only bad if you get caught. You know.
Yeah, also an important life skill, along with knowing when to hold them, when to fold them. You know, these are all that I would say cheating, holding, folding. Those are the classic trinity.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it, but Judith is a big Kenny Rogers fan. It's a musical.
Doing a little bit of administrative work here, real quick.
Sure.
I'll just keep singing the gambler.
That's fine. Is there any other? I don't know if there's any other songs.
There's
about gambling.
There's an abridged version of that song. You can sing the whole thing in one verse.
I mean, the theme is pretty clear, like early on.
Yeah, it's just at a bar down in the sun. I met a man who played cards well, but he died at the table, and I got all of his money. That's it. That's the whole song.
I think that sounds like.
Judith doesn't murder people.
They're on a train. They're not.
Fine.
I didn't know there was a Kenny Rogers lore, the Kenny Rogers verse.
Sorry, that's my karaoke go-to.
It's part of the song. He mentions on a train.
I almost mansplained that was Kenny Loggins, and
that would have been
that
foolish
is what
of
I
you.
get. Yeah, that's what we get. So, gentlemen out there,
see,
gentle junior marshals,
and
don't just keep your mouth shut. Don't mansplain, because you're gonna show your whole ass. Is what's gonna happen.
What's really funny is that I am a big Kenny Loggins fan because I like yacht rock a lot. So I was like, I almost said Kenny Loggins. I was like, no, it's not that. It's Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, you're correct. You're 100% correct, and I don't know why I thought Kenny Loggins. I too enjoy a Kenny Loggins ditty every once in a while. I said ditty. I'm 95 years old. Okay.
I mean, Hooper also forgot scorpions exist when 2 weeks ago he sang the hurricane song and told me it was somebody completely different. like the German here does not know the scorpions.
Yeah.
She rushed you like a hurricane.
Yes, it's true. I mansplained that was Def Leppard. So I'm
to
super hell. Yeah. That's my bad.
No, my think is here I go again on my own.
Thank you. That's what I am.
Tawny Katane. All right.
Good tangent, everybody.
All right.
We can keep it going all session, I swear.
We can actually do that. We're burning minutes here. I don't have a lot. I actually just don't have any material for this session. That's what's up. So, yes, final line of the night was let's go get your friends out of the bus. So, from around the corner, from your vantage point where Lily and Noah are clearly not upset or frightened by the giant squirrels, or being wary for the last 2 hours or so. You two see the lady of the house, Maggie, come from around the corner of the house, and she's got a couple little plates of food there, paper plates, doubled up for safety. And yeah, she comes on up to the bus, and the sisters are out mingling with our squirrel friends, and the rest of our crew here. So it's just y'all solo on the bus, and Maggie, deftly places a plate on her hand and knocks on the door there.
I'll pull the dealy thing to open the door.
Hey, dinner. I hope you noticed our friends the neighbors are friendly. They're safe, but here you go. It shouldn't be cold.
Yeah. Thank you. I was good. I was just making sure Lily wasn't having too big of a panic attack or anything. She's not a big fan of squirrels.
Of course you were. Of course you were, honey. Yeah, that's very gentlemanly of you.
Well, I'm a doctor. It's what I do. I help people. Thank you for the food.
You're a doctor. Okay.
Yes. Did you need something?
No, I'm
speaking.
I'm fine.
Oh.
If you all want to come join us, we figured out, John and I figured out how we can help you on your way. And yeah, we just need to, get together and put our heads together and yeah, do a little plan sesh.
It's fine, but I'm not eating anything that they touched. I don't want hair in my food.
That's okay. I understand that. I promise there's no hair or fur on the food. Yeah, squirrels have fur, so there's no fur.
A lot of the grilling.
And yeah, your friend Lou did most of the cooking, so at least the fish should be good for you, unless there's something else you'd like.
That's fine. I just really do not need tree rat fur on my food.
She's
See, this is me talking her down for 2 hours. So yeah, you can imagine.
Thank you. That's very polite. Yeah. Well, hopefully.
Sorry, there's some trauma in my past that I would like not to bring back, because then I might be rude.
Oh, you might be rude. Okay. Yeah, we don't want that.
Just a little bit.
Okay. Well, just take your time if you need to, in through the mouth, out through the nose, or vice versa, whatever you need to do. We'll be sitting around the fire over there, and you can come join us whenever. All right.
I
and
think
she
Lou
just
should teach her about meditation, because
well,
I can just imagine her like looking at this. No, fuck no, for sure not. Bye. I'm going back to the bus.
So yeah, and then Maggie just kind of finishes her sentence. If she were typing, the period wouldn't even be installed by the time she's wheeled on her heel and kind of sauntered away. And she's got a very relaxed walk, and there's no tension in that, as she walks away. So yeah. So let's see here. What were Judith? You were still teaching children important life skills. Lou and Nasha were just finishing with that conversation with, Maggie left y'all to go grab food and take it to the bus. So what are y'all up to? What have you done in the 3 minutes since last session?
Is John still with us, or did he also walk away?
Well, yeah, John's around within, he's COVID safe distance, but yeah, he's nearby.
It didn't just say, I said the right name, right? John.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So he is, but he is no longer in conversation with us.
Right.
Yeah.
I look at Nasha and I'm like, whoa, like, I personally don't know who they, but they seem pretty cool.
That's putting it mildly.
So we're definitely safe then.
I would say so.
Sick. All right.
I'll explain more later. Just to like wait for everybody to.
Right on. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. And let's check out the fire, eh? A suddenly lose Canadian.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
All dudes and dudettes and everybody along the dude spectrum can say A. I think it's allowed,
Especially if they're Canadian.
especially if they're Canadian. Yeah, it's just you get like extra A privileges if you're Canadian.
I mean, I'm Alaskan. I'm like a double Canadian.
There you go. See,
Canadian 2, Canadian harder.
Judith, what are we up to? The children have,
They've
chilling
taken
right
over.
now.
Like
What's that?
they beat me, so I'm like out. Like I lost all my
You
chips.
lost the money you had left.
We weren't playing with money. I can't remember. We were playing with like I don't
Nuts.
know. Yeah, like acorns and stuff, or like nothing, like no real money. But they took all mine, and they won't like deal me back in. They're like, we have nothing more to learn. I'm like, oh okay. So I don't know. She sees them going over to the fire, so she goes and hangs out. Says hello. Well, I lost all my nuts again. You know how it goes.
And John, who's nearby, yeah, common problem. That I've heard.
Are we doing phrasing? Are we not doing phrasing anymore? Or?
I don't know. Are we?
Sorry, never mind. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
That
All
in
right.
itself was a reference.
And let's see here. Sister Gracia has settled on a seat. She's pulled up a stump next to the fire and sort of metaphorically, and is playing a little, definitely not copyrighted material. Certainly not Wonderwall. You'd never catch Sister Gracia playing Wonderwall. It would never happen. It may be a classic. May actually technically even count as classical music at this point in time, but she's classier than that.
Is it good? Like, does she like get down, or is it like she's missing notes every once in a while?
Oh no, she's very good. She's plucking.
Yeah.
Playing a little, here we are out in the woods. You can imagine maybe some John Denver going on. Don't shake you. Don't.
I don't know. Did he make? What did he? Oh, something and flying machines falling softly to the ground. That one. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I don't know.
Oh, no.
No, that's James Taylor.
Take
Me home,
John Denver
Country
is "Take Me Home, Country Roads."
Oh, that does slap. But
Yeah.
Right on my shoulder.
But there's a
Slap
reggae version that's
flats.
much better.
You know that
Awesome.
every
On the
European actually
shoulders.
knows that song.
Country roads.
Because
Y'all
a
got West
Dutch
Virginia?
because a Dutch duo turned it into a party song that they play at the club every weekend wherever
Please
you
link.
go.
Please add a link
Turned
to
it
that.
into.
I will do they with a little bit more, So that was the
Boots and
first thing my
cats and
mom
boots
did
and
when
cats.
she figured out my husband was from West Virginia. She had to show him that video that was not the original.
I'm gonna
Did
look it up
not go
right now.
all that well. Country roads.
Country roads Dutch. Anyway, okay, so she's jamming to
Taking
Dutch
notes.
country roads.
Yeah, she's just throwing a little, just a little.
The vibe
ambient
is chill.
thing.
I got it.
Yeah, well, it's it's a chill jam, chill vibe, and very kind of contained to herself while she acknowledges you, and she acknowledges Nasha and Lou, and again, going back to what I was saying in the previous session, she's likely shy more than enigmatic. So yeah, she lets her guitar do her speaking for her, I suppose. And okay, so you've sat at the fire, you guys as well. All right, so yes, Noah and Lily first.
Lily is still singing in her brain. What's Lily doing?
What is Lily doing?
I don't know. Did we walk all the way up to the food yet?
Well, you were handed food
Yes.
at the bus.
But then were Noah and I following them because we're supposed to have that talk?
Did you? That is the question.
I guess yeah, just grumbling.
Do you partake of the food?
Of the fish, yeah.
Yeah. So and this is good fish. This is good grilling. This is more good grilling in the Imaginarium. That's a theme.
More goodly grilling.
Yeah. Maybe we should have a grill stream for y'all.
I feel like I did well on my.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm gonna say, Lily, that this fine food takes a little bit of the sting out of, whatever kind of exchange, however you felt about the exchange between you and Mrs. Tuttle, and has you a little bit at ease. The squirrel folk are kind of giving you a space. They're kind of like giving you a wide berth there. They're catching your vibe.
Well,
so there's that. Noah, what are you about?
I'm probably fairly good natured at this point. I've got food and I've got, short humanoids. Last time I had those two things hanging out, it was a pretty good time. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Right. Yeah, it was party time. You're in the party zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these squirrels are partiers. They're maybe a little bit calmer. You can they might have a little bit of food torpor going on. They might these squirrels might have the itis. So, they're a little chill. Yeah. Yeah. Whereabouts do you settle?
I'll be looking to meet up with everybody else. Sounds like they've kind of gathered near a shed or something, right?
No, at the fire.
Oh, at the fire. That's right.
Mhm.
Fire. So yeah,
And,
I will head over that way.
Yeah, John is close at hand, basically rinsing off some of the grill tools and his buck knife that he used to clean the fillet the fish and all that kind of good stuff, which is absolutely not what I would use, but the man knows what he's doing. The individual does, and he's at the well pump doing that, just doing a little rinsey rinse and keeping himself busy kind of thing, but he's close at hand. Asks you how, hey, so what do you think?
Yeah, it's good. Good. Real good.
Yeah. Your friend Lou's quite the fisherman, and look, you're a little bit of a cook. I hear you're a bit of a amateur chef yourself.
Not really.
Oh, okay. Well, then
It usually doesn't go too well. Yeah.
I see. Well, you got good friends, throwing out there those compliments when you're not even standing by.
Yeah, appreciate that.
So yeah, let's see here. Well, it looks like we got everybody. Oh, maybe we should. And he kind of gestures off towards Maisie and Hannah are down by the water. Seem to be chit-chatting, basically. Hannah's posture is a little tense. All you can really see, all you can see of Hannah is basically, her from, the back, and she's not wearing her her sister's habit. So she's just got, body armor, light body armor on over tank top, that kind of thing. And you can see the tension in her shoulders, and the skull and crossbones tattoos and all that kind of stuff. Returning to that with Hannah, homegirl is like tattoos from fingertips to, jawline there. And, across the upper back, all that kind of stuff. She is very unnun in appearance, but yeah, you can see that tension in her shoulders, and just facing dead out towards the lake, kind of in the direction that John or Maggie had gestured when they were talking about the town, or Theodore previously. She's just kind of staring off in that direction, and the sun is almost down entirely, so you're really just kind of catching vision from the light from the house, because the fire is essentially embers. Few stars are starting to twinkle, that kind of thing. And Maisie is facing towards her. And of course, being a couple, 100 or so yards away, you can't hear whatever kind of conversation they're having. But you kind of get the impression that Maisie is trying to counsel her in something.
I actually have a big ear that lets me hear things at a great distance. Do you think maybe I could attempt to use it? Do I want to be sneaky on them? I don't know. Yeah, I do. Lou's gonna do it. I'm gonna try and be sneaky about it.
Okay, you're gonna reach into you're gonna get in the messenger bag, and a quite literal messenger bag, and fish out the big ear.
And kind of like step out of the fire a little bit, and kind of try and step out of the circle and see if I can hear what's going on. It seems like it's something important.
All right. So yeah, you do that. You get in the bag, which is probably sitting near where you were sitting, and step away. You kind of step away from the circle there.
Yeah, but I'm trying to be sneaky about it.
Right. Well, go ahead and roll stealthy stealth.
Yeah, here we go. Oh my gosh, you need to have his dice out, people.
Oh,
so
boy.
I rolled a 1. Feedback from the big ear.
Sets off a grenade.
Yeah, you.
Now we found a use for the landmines.
Yes, you are in pain. I want you to go ahead and.
Okay, you said you don't like musicals, but this has been a musical episode. We've sang about 100 songs.
Well, but then you see, the thing is I like musical episodes of shows that are otherwise not musicals, because it's usually actual stuff. I'm not Junior Marshalls. I'm not going to crap live on musicals. I feel like general nerddom probably attracts a lot of musical theater fans, and I'm just not. We're not burning the base today, all right? We're not burning the fan base. All right?
Probably the safest plan.
Do it.
We're hungry. Do it.
Oh, yeah, quit playing, because how are we going to get Lin-Manuel Miranda to guest star if we don't get our act together?
Don't roll water off a duck's back. Water off a duck's back.
You can't throw bait out like that. Okay, so I do want you to take 2 points of damage. You're taking 2 points of damage. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was incredibly painful, and we're gonna do a temporary note of -1 to perception hearing rolls.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
And also, sorry, man, it's that.
Oh, no. I was doing something
it's that
reckless.
crit fail.
And I rolled a 1. Bring it.
Who says you can't crit fail on a skill check? Not me.
It's good. No.
And in addition to that, as you cringe away from the device,
Oh, dude!
you feel an iron, fairly painful grip on your forearm, holding the big ear. And yeah, and when you look to see who it is, it's Maggie. And Maggie's 5'5" and looks like she probably weighs $140. She's athletic, but she's not Sister Hannah's out there at 5'11", and this is a pretty fairly petite lady here, and just on your hand.
Take it. I don't need it.
We don't eavesdrop, okay? That's not polite. Those are your friends. If you wonder, just ask them. And then he lets go of your hand, and then she actually like kind of cradles your face, and does a little bit of that. Like, are you gonna be all right?
Huh?
Okay. Well, just be careful, man. She kind of shouts,
Okay.
And then, 2 fingers to her lips, whistles, and go ahead and do a reflex. You can go ahead and do a reflex save, a dex boy on that.
Oh, that was not. Now, okay. Now it was nat 20.
Feast and famine tonight, huh?
Yeah. Well, that's what happens.
Give and take it, I guess.
Yeah.
And this, you clap your hands over your ears, and the rest of you, as well as Lou, hear this. Thunderous doesn't work for a whistle, but it's what I got. Or a well-amplified pinch harmonic. We'll go with that. Kind of super loud whistle. Birds kind of jump up from, out of the trees, and she's whistling towards Hannah and Maisie, who, of course, whip around at that sound, and, then just and turns around and goes back to the fire. And Hannah and Maisie kind of exchange a look, and head in your direction. So we can jump out of sequence here. Who has some sort of does anybody have anything you want to do while you're chilling out around the fire? You got Sister Celine is kind of rounding up the kids, and
what
she's
time of day is it? It's like mid-evening, right?
It's 7, 8.
Okay.
Would it be in bad taste?
Yep.
Fair? Fair where I'm concerned?
Most things here on the stream, yes.
Most things Nasha does in particular. But no, would it be in bad taste for Nasha to tell the story of Painted Turtle as she knows it? Or to ask if John will tell it?
You go ahead. Yeah, no. I'm responding as though you already asked John if it's okay. Yeah. Go for it.
Oh yeah.
I love you know what? I love that story. I love to hear people tell it, how they get it wrong, how they make, how they make the characters look cooler, all that kind of stuff. Go nuts.
So because presumably everybody's there.
Yeah.
Everybody who needs to know. I think Lou's the only person who understands just how important this is at the moment. But and I wouldn't play it up and try to reveal who he is.
Mm-hmm.
But it just essentially, and Nasha's not a storyteller either.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to think of how I can do this in a way that shows that, because I am one and I don't know how to not be one.
Well, you know what? You know what? This is imagination land. We're all just gonna, all those junior marshals
Okay,
out there are
cool.
just gonna have to pretend that you're telling the story poorly.
So
Tasha's big moment too.
the story of Painted Turtle is that there was a chief and he had this absolutely beautiful daughter. And many suitors were coming and all, not interested. But there was this turtle uh who fell madly in love with this chief's daughter. Um and but he couldn't do anything about it because, I mean, he's a turtle. He was an ordinary turtle. He neither this girl or her parents would pay any attention to him, and he kept thinking to himself, how can I possibly win over this chief's daughter? And weeks passed and he couldn't think of it. And nobody noticed him. He kept trying to get their attention. No one would pay any attention to him. And he finally thought to himself, what if I painted my shell? They would notice and ask me why my shell was painted. And so he painted up and went to the chief's lodge. And the girl fell in love as soon as she saw him. This gorgeous painted shell. And he told her to follow her to a big river, and which is when he discovered that when she first saw him, she thought he was a human being that had just very rich attire. But when she realizes, no, this is a turtle and not a man, she's saying, I can't continue to be with you. I can't go any farther with you. When they reach the river, and he said, follow me and you'll become like me. You'll turn into a turtle the same as I am. And so she did. She followed him into the river, and as she stepped into the river, she slowly transformed into a turtle of a different kind, a soft shell turtle. And even to this day, sometimes they name people in the tribe who are driven to do what they want after this soft-shelled turtle. And it's the story of how the first painted turtle came to be, and now they're all over the place. And presumably, if we're in the, we've been traveling, people here have probably seen a painted turtle, like a painted turtle.
I personally, as somebody who, doesn't travel much at all, have never seen a painted turtle. Well, I probably have on nature shows or something like that, and like
they look fairly ordinary from the back. They just look like any other aquarium turtle. You'd know them because they have on the rim of their shell, it's like a bright red stripe.
mhm.
And if you look at the underside of their shell, it's gorgeous. It's this like bright scarlet. Usually, sometimes it's more of like a faded clay color, but they do have gorgeous shells.
And
Woo! Yeah.
and throughout this, as you're kind of as Nasha's kind of stumbling over her words through this, which you didn't really do at all.
Listen, I was trying to.
everybody in chat, all you junior marshals out there, we got a storyteller here. But throughout this, John and Maggie are, looking cute at each other. This is a couple that's, you would assume, has been married a handful of years. They're in their late 20s, early 30s. And, everybody's relationships take the course they take, and everybody's, the dynamic changes and all that kind of thing. And these two are obviously as in love, right now in this moment as they were 5 years ago when they met. Oh, it's one of our co-producers, everybody.
Here's my cat that made the horrible crash earlier.
I think the audience missed that.
Okay,
Wow.
good,
Yeah. Did you name the cat Tormund? You named the cat Tormund, right?
No. The cat's name is actually
Trying to mute you right now.
Her Royal Highness Virtute Yoshimi, last name redacted, first of her name.
Okay.
All right. No nerds here in the TTRPG stream. This is an adorable producer. But yeah, you can see that these two are, this couple is super cute. And Sister Celine has kind of gathered the kids up, and she taps Maggie on the shoulder. Is it all right if I go ahead and take the kids in to wash up after dinner? They're filthy. I tried, but I only have so many bits of paper. And Maggie responds, "Oh, of course, honey." And so she rounds them up and gets them to go in, and you can kind of hear a little bit of racket from through the window of the kitchen, which overlooks the fire where you're all at. And Sister Gracia,
Miss Judith, don't you touch my nuts.
Awkward.
Don't worry, your nuts are safe. I'm not going to touch your nuts. She definitely
Not that kind of
pockets them as
stram.
soon as they leave. She pockets all of them as soon as they leave. They're gone.
And Sister Gracia, while Nasha was speaking, very politely stopped her cover of something soothing, which is actually probably the name of a song, so we'll just say it's that. And was just kind of quietly fidgeting with the machine heads there. And as soon as the kids, are inside, she just turns to John, and of course you're the turtles. That's so adorable. And
just matter of fact out the gate.
Yeah. And then finishes her sentence and starts plucking out a little tune. Just kind of
Actually, that's when Lou picks up on it. Actually, maybe Nasha thought Lou had some idea of what was going on, but that's when Lou picks it up. He's like, "Oh, cool."
And Maggie's like, "It is cool. My John here, well, yeah, and just this is they're still overwhelmingly in love to the extent that they have trouble even talking about each other without gushing or just being tongue-tied or just awkward in general. And so John, who blushes, ish. It's a hard one for us. So that was like a few 100,000 years ago. Well, okay, it was less than 100. Sorry, I exaggerate sometimes. It was like 30,000-40,000 years ago, and Maggie pipes in. It was 25. It was 25,000 years ago. It's fine. You don't have to make yourself sound like a big deal. It's okay. So what we're gonna do is we got some fixings for a bigger raft in the shed, and we're gonna get you across the lake. I have this funny feeling time may be of the essence for you. Your friend. What was your name again? She's gesturing towards Hannah. Who's just kind of grumbles. Hannah. Is a little distressed, and I have to imagine that somebody like her, it takes a bit, to ruffle her feathers. Am I right? Does any? But either way, yeah, we'll get you across. One or the other of us is going to turn into a giant turtle here in order to do that. So you probably want to get the kids on the bus and to sleep. However, you all do that. I imagine, they just got fed. They'll probably ready to pass out pretty soon. Running around and playing with the squirrels they've just basically, dematerialized into the woods. They have disappeared at this time. They might be a little hyped up, but they're probably actually tired from playing, so shouldn't take too long, right? We can build the raft and get you on across. That'll take a bit, but yeah. Is everybody okay with that? All right, excellent.
Yeah, I think it sounds okay.
Not even nearly. I mean, it's a little weird, but like.
Is there going to be room for the car too?
Oh yeah. Don't worry about it. We'll bring the float in, and you could probably put. She turns to Judith, kind of makes eye contact for a couple seconds. Vicky on the float, and we'll build something for the bus. It'll be fine. If all else fails, we'll just carry the bus on our backs. It's no big deal.
Oh, very cool.
Just carry the bus on. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I'm having a total Discworld deja vu right now.
Also, alternatively, the Dark Tower. But so Maggie, she kind of, all right, well, then it's agreed to. We have some foil inside. If y'all, Lou found that. If y'all want to wrap up some of that fish to take with you, I'll be right back with that float. And she's, already kind of smoothing down her jeans and all that kind of thing. I'll be right back. And she starts sauntering off towards the lake.
Do you need a hand? I can hold ropes.
No, I should be fine, thanks.
Cool.
And she keeps going. And
we're not gonna take any fish, right? We don't have a refrigerator. Right?
Lou is foiling up some of his cooking. He really enjoyed fishing, grilling, eating, and now saving that fish.
Just worry about food safety, but
I feel like you got 12 to 20 hours of safety carrying that.
All right, wrap me up some too, Lou, please.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, Lou did a real good job with those fish. They're right on the edge of smoke, so they should hold up for a while. If we had more time, we could have actually smoked some for you. Gotten right down to the tradition. But this should do it, man.
Yeah.
The citrus should probably help hold it too. If you're feeling a little weird about it, you can go ahead and feed it to your enemies.
Hey, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah. You got to think on your feet. That's the key to success. How do you think I stuck around so long, right? It's probably the magical powers, but surreptitiously poisoning your enemies on occasion,
Been a long 25,000 years, I guess.
And I don't look a day past 50? Anyway, so yeah, any questions, class?
Several, but I mean,
We'll go for it.
no, just gonna walk on turtle faith, I guess.
Oh, fair enough.
You're a real hero and a half shell to me.
It's like, do you have?
I got that one. I love that show. I miss cable.
Do you
I don't
have
know what
like
that
a
is.
magical inside house inside your shell?
So a funny thing about that is
Good question.
yes, but generally turtles, that's not how that works.
Oh,
Yeah, you
do they
don't.
have
They
to?
don't
Do they
like.
take
They
it
don't
off at night?
really. Yeah, we don't really go inside the shell. Just I go inside my shell because you know that's a
Cool.
thing I do.
Very cool.
Anyway, hey, help me get some of the stuff out of the shed. All right, I just need you to hold the door. Anybody
Let's do
else?
it.
Anybody else? Just want to hang out? You guys can do whatever. Load your guns, or break them down. Whatever. I think we got some hops and some banana oil in the house. If you need to do that kind of thing. Basic maintenance. I'm pretty sure you're driving directly into danger, so you might want to do that, or not. Y'all look well. At least, Miss Hannah, you look like you keep, you take pretty good care of your guns. So, uh, you know, yeah. Anyway, yeah, come on. And he gestures you over to the shed. Opens the door. Normal, maybe a little wide compared to like a house door or whatever, but it's basically this normal swing door, a little hook on there, and he, opens that, and you hadn't noticed up to this point, even though John has gone to the shed and retrieved items multiple times, beer, this, that, and the other. That Maggie went and grabbed some lawn chairs, that kind of thing. It is 100% blackness in that shed, right at the threshold, and he kind of steps in there and just like it's almost like stepping through a black curtain. Just kind of, I'll be right out. And then, a couple seconds later, comes out with like 3 of these kind of logs and just keeps walking. And it's like 50 feet worth of lumber. He's just walking out of the shed on his shoulder. And it's, 3 of them at a time. And he just, just make sure nobody, make sure everybody's careful. It's not so much heavy as awkward. So I don't want to brain anybody. And he goes back in. And that process repeats several times. We're coming up on the break here. Does anybody have any business?
I mean, Judith is gonna go back and get Vicky loaded up, make sure everything's ready to go with that. I don't know if anybody wants to put anything in before we go, but that's all Judith is doing, just kind of.
Yeah, Lily is probably like squirrels, turtles.
They're gone. They left.
All of this is a little weird. She's like, I need a drink. I think I need an actual drink.
There's and there is a cooler.
Yeah. And then she's like, and what did she mean only Hannah looks like she takes good care of her weapons?
And as you're kind of ranting, you gesture towards the lake where Maggie has just reached the water's edge, and she does that trick. But instead of just shrinking into a turtle, she grows into a turtle, and still kind of goes into the water.
When she's doing that, can I be looking in like through dark?
Yeah.
Because that was the only thing I was going to ask her at some point. Like, can I watch?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which God, I want to make a joke, but I'm a grown up. And so as you're watching, clearly an adult because I had to announce anyway. As you're watching, like the transformation from person to turtle, as that happens, it's like the magic kind of this, that aura kind of shrinks around her. as you know, concomitantly with the transformation, and as she basically fully like changes to turtle, it shrinks into a point, and then like a supernova kind of thing, like you imagine the big crunch and then the big bang theoretically, and that's only visible to you, Nasha, but give me a little constitution save there real quick.
Hey, that's not great. Let me see my modifier. Con, right?
Mm-hmm.
12.
Good enough. Yeah, you kind of a little bit of that, and then it's like there's a giant light basically under the water floating out towards the float. Nobody else can see that. Lily, you may have stopped mid-sentence and then gone on with your rant. As she started to turn into turtle, you might have been like, what? And then kept going. And then, but nobody else can see that light under the water. You can, Nasha. And I think we're going to go ahead and take our break now. That'll be about 10 minutes, a good soft 10 to 12. For all you junior marshals out there, grab yourselves a snack. If you've got some trout or some salmon, we're going to discuss catfish because we did have to do that. We're going to discuss that during the break. But that's for us. That's our time here in the Imaginarium. We'll see you in about 10. So I took this catfish, and it's moving around in my kitchen. Welcome back, y'all, to the Imaginarium. Just telling perfectly normal stories here today, because that's what we do.
Having a normal one today, huh, Hooper?
Today and every other day. Thank you very much. It's normal ones 367. So let's see here. You were Lily. Let's catch back up with you. Since we didn't have you last week, and Noah. Actually, you know what? We are going to come back to you, Lily. I completely skipped Noah before the break. Bad form, Hooper. Noah.
Yes.
Hook. What's up? Did you catch any of that mystical shit that had just happened? Were you were you with Judith and Lily while there, were you having a three-way conversation there? What's going on?
I was probably mostly focused on the fish on my plate and how good it was and enjoying that, and probably more kind of just hanging by the fire with kind of trying to figure out the shed and how that works, because clearly there's some crazy magic going on there. But yeah, mostly just focused on my fish.
Nice. Well, and that's reasonable. We're gonna assume that you finish up with that. I mean, materially, there's only so much fish on your plate. So after that, what you got?
Don't worry, I got some leftovers wrapped up for you. We can have that later.
Speaking of fish safety, I'm the least safe cook when I'm cooking for just myself. So what I'm about to tell you is a thing that I would do for me, and my extremely powerful sense of self-preservation. I would throw the foiled fish into the coals, the fired coals, or the fire coals. Get that last,
just to overcook it,
basically, to kind of smoke it.
Hard.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me roll.
If it's in foil, no, it's not going to char. It's going.
I got an 18.
So, foil, like tin foil.
Yeah.
I thought you meant it had been defeated at some point, and I was like, that seems like a weird thing to specify, but okay.
No, I rolled an 18 survival check, so Lou thought of that. Thought of a preservation method to try to help make them flat.
You also have the option there to decide that 18 survival roll tells you not to do that. I don't know. Seems safe to me, Mr. Hooper, in real life.
Yeah, he uses what he understands in the moment to make the best decision he can. That's what he does. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Super good.
Very specific.
Yeah. Fish is safe. The fish is now safe, everybody. For you junior marshals watching at home, first of all, pipe up in the chat. We got a bunch of emojis from Nasha/Mermetal Bard in there. I'd love to hear from you. Second, tell me whether or not that would give everybody a parasite. I don't have a parasite, and I do this kind of shit all the time. So, a gut parasite. Still got to pay taxes. Let's see here. Ew!
Snappy.
You got some spicy ones here. These takes, right? Okay. So let's see here.
These room temperature takes.
You have finished with your trout. This is very important. It's trout because it came from a lake. Salmon is not. You're not going to find salmon in a lake.
Obviously.
Are you admonishing us or past you?
Yeah, learn
it is known. It is totally known.
All right. So Noah, you've enjoyed. Did you have some beans? Did you have some some.
Oh yeah, I went
Okay.
crazy on sides too.
Cool. So you're scraping this up.
Yeah.
No potato salad, no raisins. Didn't happen. We're good on that. Now, what are you doing? You see Lily kind of ranting. You hear it. You might not be catching every single syllable over the sound of crunching and chewing, but yeah, the last bite there. What's up?
So I'm probably gonna go. So the transformation from lady to giant turtle has happened, right?
Yeah,
Already?
that happened
Yeah.
behind your back. You're
Oh,
facing
okay.
away from the lake. So yeah, Noah just missed it. Just
No, that makes sense.
yeah. If there was a light show that anybody other than Nasha could see, yeah, you'd just be ignoring the strobes. It'd just be like, it's the classic on that one.
Figured
So
some
go
point
ahead,
I'll
sir.
probably turn around and be like, "Oh, okay, that wow, that's a really big turtle."
No, homegirl's already under the water. You can't even see her.
Oh, can't see it. Oh, never mind then.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I will. All right. Well, I'll probably just kind of hang out by the fire. We, I guess, yeah. All my stuff's in the car, so I don't really need to get anything. I'm actually doing pretty well. Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay. Yeah, and in between songs, Sister Gracia reaches into her robe and pulls out, a kerchief, and just kind of reaches across, and you got a little schmutz, and
Oh,
puts it away and goes back to what she's doing, and then puts the guitar away and just kind of gets up and nerds off towards the bus. That is really what's going on with Gracia. Yes, she's a sister superior. Yeah, there's some stuff going on with that. Homegirl's a dork. She's just awkward. Yeah, just kind of comes and goes as she pleases. She's not trying to pull one over on you or, appear mysterious. Yeah. She might have read a lot of books about horses when she was a kid. Kind of thing. That situation. So you're just going to go ahead and finish up with your food and stare into the middle distance?
for the most part, actually, yeah. I'll probably go hang out with Lou.
All right. Let's see here. Go ahead and give me a Constitution roll against the itis.
Constitution. So that's just 13.
Just 13. All right, you're holding the itis off for now. All right. Judith, did you have a significant amount of the spread?
I ate enough. Like, I don't think I'm like stuffed, but if how you get like a little bit of everything. So you're like, oh, I won't be full because like I got just a little bit of everything, but it was like everything. So you are full. It's like that.
Yeah. So 1 plate, 2 plates?
One plate. Just one.
Rotato, good to see you again. Just the one. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
You're running lean. You're
She's
running
moving
like
and grooving, man.
You like to keep that tank at like half. Interesting. All
yeah.
right.
Okay. Not of my car, but of like
naturally
my meat tank. Wait, no,
Yeah.
sorry, strike it.
That's a great band name.
I'm
Meat
not
tank.
in a band, so it's not great for anyone. But
Brutal. Okay, so yeah, you don't need to make an itis check.
No, she definitely has the itis, but because
okay.
but like
doesn't need to make a check because it's preemptively failed.
Yeah,
it happened. Okay,
yes,
and
because
I have to assume that Lily, just feeling suspect about the whole situation, just being on her toes, did not really load up, even though you brought a plate. You had the one plate and then finished? Okay, no need.
It's
for
just like only
check.
the fish because Lou was in charge of the fish.
All right.
Lily feeling
because
sus among
things
a
that
stream coming up
Lou
next.
are in charge of or is in charge of.
She wants
always go
no
to plan.
fur in her food.
Yeah. Lou, did you crush?
I mean, Lou could his metabolism is absolutely bananas bonkers. So he ate a fair amount of fish and bread. Get some carb loading. Yeah.
All right. There
I mean,
wasn't.
like, he's insane.
There was no bread, just to be clear, but that's fine.
What kind of barbecue? Pardon me.
I
So
agree. You need to have the bread with the fish. That's kind of
Fish
assume
and bread,
it's good.
man.
With the fried fish. Oh, it's not fried. It's grilled. If it's grilled, never mind.
No, anyway, yeah. So yeah, no, he definitely crushed. He had a couple plates, but that is pretty typical for Lou.
Yeah.
Lou is at like a 5,000 calorie a day diet kind of guy.
Oh God, that sounds amazing. I miss being able to crush 5,000 calories a day. All right, so yeah, we won't do an itis check. And Nasha just woke up from an involuntary short-term coma, so no
and is
need
again
for
just at the moment distilled
Wired.
adrenaline.
yeah, wired. So yeah, Lou. Okay, so Noah. Yeah, you're seeing like you're like, oh, okay. You have been oblivious, smashing this food, just going nuts on this grill up here. You missed the 5'7" man, bringing multiple tons of lumber out of a shed that's too small to hold the lumber for like 3 minutes now, and you're like, all right, sweet deal. You get the schmutz off your face because Sister Grasti is very, yeah. And you're like, all right, and you do the thing, you fold up your plate, and you got the coals, and you throw the plate on the coals, or do you?
Paper plate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goes in the fire.
People have different, fire etiquette. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, at this point you turn, and yeah, there's now, camera frame. So for the audience's reference, I'm 6 feet tall, stack of wood, nice triangle of big round lumber there, about ear level for Mr. Hooper.
That was being pulled out of the shed of holding.
Yeah. And yeah, you just hear, oh, okay, there's the last one. And John, comes out carrying, the final one there, just doing one of these with it. And all right.
Well, that's impressive.
Hey, thanks. I work out. Hey, and that's him. No, but really, I could, we carry boulders around the lake. It's good to exercise, right? In your old age. You don't know anything about that. You're a kid. Anyway, so yeah, you're gonna want to stand clear. We're gonna go ahead and and he kind of, like I said, these are 50-foot long 50-foot lengths of lumber here, and he goes around to one side. He's like, all right, guys, just do one of these, just separate, please. And to you and Lou.
Yeah, definitely.
And he just kicks the pile, and it falls, and you notice that it should kind of, because you're you got a lake there, you're on the high ground, you could easily kill your own apprentice if you had to at this spot if they were coming from the lake, but he kicks that, and these logs should roll. At first, see here, which one of you is more likely to panic at the idea of these logs rolling at speed, even though they're not heading towards you?
I'm probably okay with that.
Okay.
As long as they're not heading towards me, yeah, I'm probably good.
As long
So
as it's
both
not
of
in a
your-
lumber truck, we're good.
Yeah. Oh. All right. So yeah, the logs, they're headed down this incline, but for a fraction of a second, they just stop once they're all flat. And you see, John standing there, his hands on his hips. What do you think? Big enough to carry the bus?
Did you just kick a raft into existence?
No, actually, I have to get the line to tether it all together. And so
Oh, good. Okay.
Pretty good start. Yeah, I know how to do the bus.
Cool.
I think so. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, we may need your help getting the bus on it. It seems like you might
Oh
be able
yeah,
to...
no, yeah, we got that. Yeah. Well, it's wood, it floats, so there's that.
Bus? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. To be perfectly honest, I couldn't tell you what all's in a bus. It's not really my thing. I don't drive much. You know what? I've been in a few cabs. It's weird. You move and you don't do anything. Like, yeah, I'd rather go slow than just be moving with no control. One of those things. You got somebody up front who's just talking and they're on their phone or yelling at the cab next to them. It was a little bit nicer when it was carriages because horses, they're a little bit more reasonable than your average cabbie, but Uber was a weird phase. Anyway, I'm gonna get the line. I'll be right back. Okay.
Cool.
Turns around.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Goes into the shed. All right, Lily. Sorry about that interminable wait. What's up?
Well, she was probably like, I think for right now, she's at the point where nothing's weird no more. She's like, yeah, sure. I met some squirrels. There's some big old turtles. We're gonna put the bus on a freaking raft. Sure. Nothing can go wrong with this at all. So she probably duck out a little flask out of one of her things, and she's just like, everything will be fine. We're gonna be good. Everything's gonna be good.
Yeah, reasonable. Yeah. Dr. Goliath. Doctor, remember you've been promoted from DJ to doctor. Good to see it. Yeah, no, it should be let's see here. Why don't you go ahead and do a survival knowledge check, basically.
Might need my sheet. I might need my sheet.
Might.
That's a 9.
Yeah, okay.
She a city girl.
Yeah, you absolutely take a good pull out of that flask there. What's in it, by the way? What you got?
That's probably moonshine.
Just so okay. Now I want to ask Noah, or the player of Noah.
Yar.
We have many conversations regarding, but so it's closer to a whiskey than your average clear liquor. All right, I'll keep that in mind for future reference. Okay, so yeah, failing that check, yeah, you're a little clang with that drink, and John comes out of the shed. Oh, it should be fine. Talking to you, even though you're 50, another 50 feet away. Probably couldn't hear anything you said. Shouldn't have heard anything you said. Andy was in what may or may not have been an extra dimensional space at the time. And yeah, he comes out and he starts, whipping. He basically has this line, and it's kind of heavy gauge twine. And have you seen IRL a musician or roadie whip an audio cable across a stage before? Like, just basically unfurl an audio cable. Just yeah. Well, yes, you have. But I'm in this situation specifically asking Lily. You never seen that before? Okay.
Nope.
So it's a weird little move. The producer's really good at it, myself less so. I basically literally just play the instrument and learn things to look cool on the side. It's a nice little maneuver where you've got your length of cable, in this case twine, coiled ish, and you just kind of give it a little Indiana Jones, and the whole thing just basically snaps out without a snag. It's actually quite breathtaking to behold. And that's the case right now, is John is kind of just whipping this twine across the this soon-to-be raft and doing that, a little bit of an orbit around the structure, pulling it under, doing it again, pulling it under, cinching this thing up. It takes John about 15 minutes to build a 50-foot raft, which he then proceeds to drag down to the lake. Just curls his fingers under the twine at one of the meeting points of the logs there, and just drags it behind him. And kind of saying to, and Nasha, are you right there next to these proceedings?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you're watching.
I'm standing there like wanting to help and just being like,
yeah.
The most competent person in the room is now feeling useless, and it's not a typical sensation.
You're in your 20s. He's in his 20,000s at least. You actually have to take into consideration, and everybody who heard that story, John is Turtle. He's painted Turtle. He's not a guy who is painted Turtle. He is Turtle. He's an abstract, essentially, of the entire creature. So while John and Maggie have been together, and assume that he's dragging the raft and you're just kind of following along, like watching while I'm explaining this. Well, John and Maggie have only been around together for 20 millennia or so, 25. John's been around as long as turtles have.
As long as the idea of a turtle has.
Yeah.
Retroactively.
Yes. So reptiles, amphibians, reptiles, turtles. This is one of these things that always confused me on Ninja Turtles. Turtles
amphibians,
are reptiles.
aren't they?
No, because they met
amphibians?
Turtles are reptiles.
Yeah, they met
Turtles are
Napoleon.
reptiles, yeah.
What's his face? And he's an amphibian, and that's what always reminded me. So yeah, reptile. Reptile's been around a hot minute. Anyway, so he's dragging this down to the lake, and you guys are following along, and like not a vein popping in the forearms, not a bead of sweat, and he kind of throws it in the lake, like kind of like you, Lou, and he did with the canoe earlier. Just, and it splashes in there. All right, so Nasha, you might want to look away for a second, or close your eyes, or something. Maybe tough guy here, pointing at Lou. Maybe tough guy's got some shades. They won't help. All right, so go ahead. And you guys just kind of see him do a little bit of pachow and he puts that out there just to kind of a little razzle dazzle. You guys don't see anything except for the raft, which was kind of doing some of this just on the water.
Nasha sees the bones of her hand through her eyelids.
Something like that, yeah. But yes, Lily, I interrupted what you were doing. You had yourself a little sip of beverage, a little sip of bevy. Want to come back to you? Any more business?
She's just watching that raft, come together, and she's just like, this is gonna hold a whole bus.
And and that's when you notice that the raft goes from, gently kind of rocking on the water to just dead still on the water. Like it might as well, the surface of the water might as well have been ice. It's just the way it just sits there. And John kind of walks out onto it and does some of this, kind of hops up and down. You three who are nearby the raft, or unless all of you have migrated over to that, you hear the wood creak just a little bit under his kind of, up and down on there. And he's like, all right, that's weird. Must have gained a few, right? It's a good dinner. And he walks up towards the house. Yeah. And the float that you and John had been fishing from floats on up and then raises up out of the water. And Maggie's just carrying it and kind of
in turtle form or human form?
no, in person form this time.
Oh boy.
And yeah, this is definitely big enough to fit Vicky on, but Maggie does turn to Judith. Who are you nearby, or are you back closer to the fire or the house or whatever?
Still back at I was still kind of like getting everything ready in my car. So
okay, so yeah, you see, because Maggie really nonchalantly just drops that there, kind of gently. She's not trying to destroy this wooden structure, but yeah, and then kind of saunters off towards Judith and Lily and Vicky, and gets there. So we probably want to size up, just make sure that Vicky will fit on the raft, and then after that, once we get the kids on the bus and most of them asleep, or at least on the bus, we should be able to get you going.
So I'm going to ask you a selfish question. Like, will this hold both? Like, I'm not talking about, like, is there enough space? But, like, is buoyancy the word I'm looking for? Is the buoyancy going to lift up? Is it going to be enough for a bus and a car and our entire menagerie?
And the motorcycle?
Oh, yeah, and the motorcycle. Wait, no, they left the
Motorcycle's
motorcycle
gone.
Oh.
Motorcycle's gone. Yeah.
It's too conspicuous.
Nailed it.
Because the rest of us are not conspicuous.
And what's the emergency plan if this sinks?
Yeah, that's another question because I can't.
There's children involved.
The children.
The giant
the
turtles can help us.
You know what? I mean, I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand what's going on. I'm not doubting you.
No, that's fine. It's a little extra. Yeah, it's a little normal, and you guys are used to weird. So, the big one that'll definitely hold the bus. It's big enough for sure, and the buoyancy should be good. And then this one, we've had bigger than a 1950s sedan on here. So yeah, it should be all right.
But together?
It's two separate rafts.
Oh, it's two separate. Okay. All right. Well, then I believe in you. I'm sorry to have ever doubted you.
Oh, no, it's it's perfectly normal.
It just questions to ask when a turtle is going to pull your car across the lake. Like, it's not you. Like, you know what you're doing. It's just me. Like, I just never have been in this situation before.
It's fine. It sounds like you're breaking up with me, which
No, we're still together for sure.
Yeah.
I would
Oh,
never.
that's adorable.
Yeah,
I was,
100%.
that's I was making a joke, but here we are, and I
That's
like
okay,
that we're on the same page.
That's okay,
I
too.
like that, I like you. After you hopefully survive the next week or so,
Hopefully.
we go. You can, Oh no, you can come on back
Can you
and
wait? Sorry. Can
hang
you
out with the.
No, wait, no. Do you know what's gonna happen? Like, what's going on?
Oh, I can't read the future. I'm, just a lady, just just a normal girl, right? You know how it is. I'm gonna go get the
No.
kids, and she just does one of those.
I don't know how it is. Like, I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Next week. What?
I don't know. Know how it is. What is it? I don't know what it is.
All of this is completely crazy.
Yeah, like the squirrels. are the
So
least
yes,
crazy
you
part.
have now the
It's
three
fine.
of you who are on my top row. Oh, you guys go nuts. The three of
I
you
already
who are
got
on
the
my
nuts.
top row. Could you flash that card again?
The nuts are in my
You
pocket.
three, excellent.
Pocket nuts.
Can there's no getting around. There's no getting around that euphemism. You doomed yourself on that one.
My pocket nuts. I don't know what you mean.
I was right in the middle of both
I'm sorry.
DMing and doing admin tasks, and you got me. You got my attention. Yeah, it's 2 boxes, 2 separate boxes. All right, so Nasha, Noah, Lou, are you gonna just stand around the boat like, yep, having a bit of a king of the hill there, or?
I am absolutely down for that. Yes.
Okay.
This is
Lou
also
is incapable of sitting still. He will be trying to help and just fiddling with things as much as he can.
Nasha's going to be spending most of this time basically studying, just trying to figure out what the fuck is happening. I do want to, at some point, be able to ask them about John or Maggie, whoever's has a free moment, about the strangers.
The strangers?
If they know any, yeah. And if they know anything about them.
Like
did I mix? I forget their names. The aliens.
The travelers or visitors. Yeah.
Thank you, visitors.
Yeah. Okay.
Strangers was a different fiction.
Yeah, and if you mention that, John just kind of gives you. Yeah, we can get around to that. Maybe let's wait until the kids are asleep on the bus, and things are a little bit more peaceful. You'll have a.
Yeah, I wouldn't interrupt anything. I'd just be like, if I saw a free moment where they were just standing around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and John he's a little bit more relaxed in his pacing, so he's having a bit of he's got a boomhauer going on, just admiring his wrath. Maggie is very task oriented. What's the next thing I'm gonna do, kind of thing. So yeah, she's gone into the house. So yeah, you have a moment there to ask John about things. He's just kind of pulled a little bit of an ixnay on the travelers thing. So
not gonna push it at all.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna be like, understood. I'm just wondering because I've had to deal with them.
Yeah, I can kind of tell.
See that? Yeah, I've gotten that before.
Yeah, and your friend, the driver, I assume she's a driver, seems attached to the car one way or the other. I mean, obviously not in the literal physical sense. That would be weird. I've seen it before, but anyway, and not in that physical sense either. I mean, like an actual kind of a person, car, centaur situation. It's a weird one.
A car tar. I've seen that.
But you got to be careful with that. She has had a little bit of a run-in with our pointy-eared friends, maybe. You got
friends is a strong word.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Generally. I mean, you know how it is. You can't be just judging people, by what shape their ears
Oh,
are
not
or whether or not
not
they're
generally. I
reptile.
mean specifically.
Yeah, but yeah, I yeah, those the elves are also kind of neighbors. You see, we didn't invite them over, right?
Uh-huh.
Not good neighbors. Uh, yeah, we'd never, it's just one of those things. Sometimes you don't mix social groups. You know what I mean?
All too well.
You got a lot of people.
She's like flashing back to um what was his name? Green Jeans?
Excuse me.
The green alien, the moss guy. I
Oh,
can't remember
yeah.
his name.
Yeah. He didn't have a name. Oh, Mr. Green. Yeah.
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 Mr. Green and his stack of jeans. It
Oh,
just
Green Jeans.
flashes back to the meeting between him and the visitors.
I didn't put that pun together. I shouldn't announce that I didn't put that pun together, but I have to give you I have to give you the credit. I didn't write that. God, I wish I had though. Yeah, well, the native so the elves are like natives to the area, and the travelers, and this is all I can talk about till we get those kids on the bus, and they're kind of asleep. Uh, the Greys are like it's like they just moved into town, and gentrifiers. That's what they are. There we go. The problem is the locals are, well, the dicks. So, and then there's you guys. Occasionally you invent an atom bomb or that kind of thing, like a crusade or global
I have any
warming.
idea what he's talking about.
But you do your thing, and you only live so long, so it's not like you can do that much damage. These guys, not so much. They're pretty much we're stuck with them. So I guess be careful of them. But you can kind of see them coming a mile away unless they make sure you can't. All right. So let's see about those kids real quick, and let's loop back around to Lou? Were you standing by for that conversation?
I'm going to say, yeah, Lou was right there.
Standing is probably not the word, but
no.
Fidgeting.
He was fidgeting and checking out the boat, running the full length of it several times back and forth.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, and you noticed no give.
And he shouts that a lot. It's got no give! Like back to shore from the far end of it. It's crazy.
During the conversation Nasha's having, if he's shouting this, she's just going to be like giving him a thumbs up from over the shoulder. Like,
right, yeah. And you could tell that, like, John
nice,
is like,
buddy.
John's pretty stoked. He's proud. And Noah, what are you?
No, I would say that Lou did not get any sense of Nasha's alien backstory in that particular moment.
Yeah. No, she hasn't shared anything as far as I can remember over the course of this.
Nope,
so
nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lou was not paying attention and was playing around.
Yeah. I would have kind of half been paying attention to that conversation, but when it turned to them talking about people I don't know, I pretty much lost interest and probably just kind of watching Lou.
Noah, check it out! Check it out! Check it out! Look.
Yeah.
Watching Lou is either a spectator sport or a full-time job or some combination thereof.
Yeah.
Yeah, no give. Impressive.
And at this time, Sister Celine emerges from the house with, by the way, Sister Hannah and Sister Maisie have been standing with you guys, Noah, Lou, and Nasha, like kind of doing a bit of, like, how's this? Where's the strings? Kind of, there's got to be wires here, sort of checking the raft out. They figured out, Maggie's a strong lady. She just carried the entire 20 by 20 float up to, the shore and dropped it there. That's okay. Trolls can do that. This thing, they're like, and now they're kind of tuned in and just watching you guys. I think Sister Maisie has actually produced a squishy football of some sort and is like throwing it to Lou on the raft. And then Sister Celine emerges from the house, with a little train of kids who have pajamas now for some reason. And Maggie, is at the end, is the caboose of the train of kids, and stops with you, Judith and Lily. We got a lot of kids, so, we got a lot of pairs of pajamas. You can just afford to give them away. Anyway, it should only take a couple minutes to get those kids ready to sleep, so are you all ready to hit the road?
Let's get on this raft! Yeah!
Nothing can go wrong, so yeah, sure.
I agree. I don't think anything will go wrong.
Genuinely.
I have utter faith in these turtles. I have more faith in these turtles than I do in my own ability to get shit done, which is saying something.
Right.
Because Nasha's like a hair's breadth from narcissistic.
Spends a lot of time alone in the wild. You kind of probably develop something like that.
Well, yeah. You have to believe you're the best or else you won't be.
Yeah.
And you'll be dead.
Die. So, yeah, Sister Celine gets the kids in the boat. Maisie and Hannah actually peel away from the group and head that way. Not the boat, the bus. Kind of head up towards the bus and, are doing the same thing. Helping shepherd them on and all that kind of thing. Sister Gracia is policing the last bits of schmutz that any of the kids might have, checking their fingernails, that kind of thing. Little
Where's
old school
Chester
school
in
mummy.
all this? I think that's an important question.
Chester has literally, he is having the most normal one. Like, Homeboy was mingling with the squirrels, not playing hacky sack. He's the equivalent of 1,000,000 years old for a goblin. He's done a little bit of fishing on his own. He produced his own fishing rod from the bus and has been, doing a little bit of that. Caught some claw shrimp, that sort of thing. So you can hear some clacking coming from a little mesh bag there that he's got fastened at his side, that sort of thing. And he's just been chilling by the fire for a fair portion of the last half an hour, enjoying long bottom pipeweed, or let's say maybe Nicaraguan pipeweed. Who knows what. We don't really question Chester's motives or sources, but yeah, doing that kind of thing. He actually kind of hangs out with Sister Gracia. Like, they're bros. Thanks for bringing Chester back, by the way.
Hey, no worries. I mean,
nobody
he has
asked
to get the bus on the raft.
Yeah. Nobody asked about Chester. And old Kev, which I appreciate, and I'm sure he does too. He probably doesn't care, but Chester not filled with give a shits. But he does come down to the big to the big raft and does a little bit of a tap dance on it, and he's like, looks at you getting up to your hijinks, and then it's like you're over 5 feet tall. He's right around 3 feet tall. You're probably 100. Yeah, 60 pounds? He's probably closer to 90. No, he's probably closer to 70. Yeah, and he's just kind of like, and turns to John, it's just like, sure it's gonna hold. And John just like, I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
wouldn't it? It's awesome.
See? It is awesome. I mean, Nasha, am I right? It is like literally by, dictionary definition awesome. Am I correct?
My eyes still sting, and I had my hand in front of them. I literally cannot even comprehend how much magic is in this fucking piece of wood.
And John like turns to, let's see here, who's nearby, turns to Noah and is like, that's what she said. And
Hey!
I'm surrounded by 25 million-year-old children.
We're all children. I mean, we're all grown up.
If you live
All
that
right,
long, you'd be goofy as heck. Like
let's get this show on the road.
I know you meant goofy, like funny, but now I just want John to be like, oh,
Of
yuck.
Why do you have no? Maybe.
No.
Okay, no, that is funny.
Yeah, that would be a good time. But
Steps into the water.
John, close. John turns and looks at Maggie and you, Lily and Judith, looking at you all and a questioning thumbs up kind of situation. And turns around, walks down the length of the raft and just into the water.
Before he makes it, I just want to be like, John, Hihin Sanko, thank you for everything.
Word.
Essentially,
I did not study your welcome, so
there isn't a word for it. It's just
this stream. Yeah,
there isn't a word for it.
Right. But yeah, and he's still walking and turns around and he's like, and dives off the back of the raft.
Did you like a backflip
off the raft?
It does a backflip?
No, he doesn't do a backflip.
Oh,
It's just it's like almost a back flop, actually.
He's not a show off. I'm sorry.
No, John's a very humble man.
How fast do I have to be to cover my eyes before he hits the water?
Oh, and that's the thing is you are not prepared because it's a smooth motion. He's doing his thing, turns around, and he's in the water but nothing. No light show. Just into the water. And that's that with John for now, at least. Maggie comes down to the Lily and Judith. She kind of pats you, Judith, on the shoulder. All right, well, sorry your car's Swiss cheese and we can't really do anything about it. We did hear you coming up the trail, but we figured you were just more jerks from the road, and then you were nice. We would have done some work on it, but here we are.
You would have?
Yeah. Look, okay, magic can't fix a regular combustion engine unless that's what you're doing. If that's your thing, that's not my thing.
I mean, it's like detailing though. Right?
No, it's filled with bullet holes, and I'm pretty sure your engine block is cracked. But it should get you over to Theodore if you take it easy. In the meantime,
I don't know if we know how to take it easy.
What's that?
Yeah, okay. I just don't know if we know how to do that. But yeah, we will try. I will try my best, and I gently pat Vicky.
Yeah. She'll be fine for the next little bit.
Okay, but what is the engine block?
It's the block where all the parts of the engine.
Oh, the engine.
Like I said, it's not really. That's not really my thing. I don't so much
Mine either.
To do that at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Today. So let's get this thing on the float over there, and then
Okay.
we'll get it on the water. We'll get it tethered. We'll get going.
I will
John
take it
will
easy.
do the pulling, and I'll hang out with y'all and make sure everything's fine.
Thank you. And I start. So do you want me to push it on? Do we need to push it on, or can I just drive it on?
Oh no, you should be able to drive it on. I'll make
Okay.
sure. I'll make sure it's flush.
Thank you. Need to be flush. Okay. So Judith gets in, and she very gingerly, because the engine block, whatever that is broken. So she just like kind of.
So
No, you don't have to explain it to me. The
okay.
joke is that Judith doesn't know what it is. So
I don't either. Mr. Hooper doesn't actually
why did you
know.
say it? Okay. So gently,
Good enough.
she like.
Good enough.
She
Like
like.
you got me, kind of though. You got the point. Yeah. It's running. It's just very loud. There's a lot of smoke.
Okay.
Yeah, Vicky's,
The-
she's having a
the
rough old
engine-
time.
The engine block is the thing the cylinders are in. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just the housing for the parts that
I was-
move.
I was just gonna Google it later.
I know, but it's not
Nope.
worth
It's
a
more.
Google.
That's more mechanical. Car studying than car studying. That That I
Car
think
learning.
says everything.
Car
I don't have to
learning.
finish that sentence.
There's book learning and there's car learning.
And so
car
We all did
lore.
our research, totally.
having car engine seized because of a cracked engine block.
I don't know what that. See, you pick something that's like actually really bad. You should have just said like. I
No,
have a
that
flat
makes
tire.
perfect sense. I'm glad because it is bad. That was the point. I make bad things happen to you guys, and then you figure out how to get past them. So yeah,
He's had a grudge against this car since the very
Why
beginning.
do you hate Vicky?
it's not that it's one of those things. It's a very big target. It's made out of metal, and it's not technically
Why don't you
armor.
can hurt me? Don't
Oh,
hurt
wow.
Vicky. Take me instead.
That's
No,
what you
don't
get
actually
for
take me.
being an inanimate object.
Not about that.
We're all cowering behind the car, and Judith standing in front of it.
Why do you shoot my car?
Please. She's been through enough.
Me.
She's like,
So if Judith hops in the car, what's Lily do?
Lily plans to be on top of the bus with her rifle ready, because this cannot just be easy. She thinks there's something else going to show up. I don't know.
if it goes badly, you're gonna shoot the
Flying
water?
dinosaurs. Something's
You're
going
gonna
to go
shoot the
wrong.
lake if it
Don't give the DM ideas.
lake.
Plesiosaurs are in the source book, so yeah.
So are
Gee.
otters. So like we could see some nice
Otters are
otters,
assholes.
you know.
They're
Otters
mean.
are sea bros. Okay,
Why are they
so
mean?
all right.
And hippos
Oh,
too.
No, otters
hippos
are
scare me. Otters are really
pretty
mean.
terrifying, actually.
Yeah,
They're
I've
really
seen
terrifying
very
and
Seen
mean.
otters do weird shit, but that is not what we're here for right now. This is not Wild Kingdom. All right, so Lily gets on the bus with the kids. Why don't you, Lily, go ahead and unless you're not interested, would Lily be interested or invested in getting the kids settled in?
Well, only if the sisters don't have it handled.
I mean, there's 4 of them plus you, and there's 13 kids.
That's so cute.
We're both parents. We know.
It's like I'm a teacher. I got 7 to my name. They got it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
My
Right.
job is keeping them safe now, not keeping
Okay.
them happy.
All right. So you have become the tiny human turret, and Chester's literally says, "All right, now the normal one," and starts, kind of inching the bus down. It's a kind of an uneven ground, so he's got to be a little bit careful so it's not rocking. Yeah. He's like, maybe I'll put the little shits to sleep. Who knows? And he's doing his thing. Judith, I assume you are driving Vicky down towards the water line. All right. And Maggie's a good couple dozen feet ahead of you the whole time, and then gets down to the shoreline, down to the float, which is of course kind of sitting at a weird cocked angle there on the rocks. And she just kind of reaches down and grabs this thing, and it's about this, the float is about this thick, in depth, and it is lumber, but you can also see where there's metal banding around there about 12 inches, but she just reaches under and kind of adjusts it like it's almost like when you have to scoot your mattress around after you've put new sheets on there. It's kind of what she's doing, and she kicks away multiple handfuls of dirt at each kick, dirt and rocks, and kind of does that, and then sets it down, scoots it a little bit, and turns around and gives you the thumbs up, and one of these steps to the side. And then, she proceeds to do the walk-in. She doesn't do that. Once you get Vicky up on the float, she steps onto it with you, grabs a line that's at the front of it, and throws it over towards the big raft, where the bus, after a couple minutes, pulls up onto it. Again, no budge from the raft itself, this giant raft, and pulls up on there. Let's see here. You three are down by the raft, Noah, Lou, and Nasha. You see the line there. It's kind of, sitting free on the raft. Noah, unlike his Lou, unlike his player, is not a mariner, so maybe doesn't instinctively grab the line and cleat it. But
I had just unmuted myself to start, and you're correct. So I'm gonna
So the other two of you, well, all three of you do see that this line is sitting free. It's not secured.
Oh. Should somebody...
Nasha's just going to go and grab it.
Okay.
Ooh.
And are you going to tie it off on the...
Attempt to, yeah.
Okay. Nautical versus, woodcraft, little, or that kind of thing. Different knots, but here we are. You're going to get secure knots.
Yeah.
So, you got yourself a nice secure knot.
It's a very kinky raft.
Couldn't save it.
The kind you don't take comfortable.
You couldn't keep a clamp on it. That's fine.
I tried.
I'm about to call security on you.
I held it back as long as I could. I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't.
You didn't. You didn't wait at all.
And
that was my version of waiting.
As soon as you get that knot, that line secured there's a budge on the raft, and Maggie and hops from the float to the raft and joins. It's like, come on, all right, and I assume you guys are going to make sure that you're on the raft before.
Lou is on the raft. He is at the front of the raft watching.
Lou's been on the raft for an hour.
Lou's been dashing all over the raft. He's there.
And at this time, the Maggie and Lou and Noah and Nasha are all on the large raft with the bus. And Lily, you're on the bus. Judith, you're chilling in Vicky. You're good to go on that. And the raft starts moving off into the water. And after a few seconds, the line goes taut on the raft, between the raft and the float on which Vicky is resting. And make sure to throw that emergency brake on. And the float, along with Vicky, are yanked out into the water, and just a little bit of one of these right here. Judith, I think it's time for another Constitution itis check.
I'm already
No, same thing. I can be infinitely caffeinated and I will pass out on a boat.
7. Lucky number 7.
Plus your con modifier or including.
That is, I don't have a con modifier.
Oh, yeah. So after
The car is in park though.
barely 2 minutes, 3 minutes, yeah,
This
you
is
know,
actually true to my life. Any moving
you
vehicle, I'm out.
start to drift off. I think some old Motown is playing very low volume on Vicky's radio.
Temptations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I
And-
dream? Do I have a dream?
Well, we'll get around to that. Noah, what'd you get?
I did slightly better. I had an 8.
High five.
Yeah, you take yourself a
It's
little
slightly
seat.
better.
Yeah, you take yourself a little seat, leaned up against one of the tires or whatever you're comfortable leaning up against there, and you kind of drift off. Something about being on the water. Because now that the raft is just
Vibes.
a little bit of one of these. Lily didn't have enough to get the itis and is also wired for sound. Nasha also wired. Lou. Give me an itis roll. Itis check.
Can't. I don't know if you can.
You muted. Lou.
I actually rolled it with them. Yeah, I got a 20.
You got a 20? All right.
Not a natural 20, but a dirty 20.
You're still stoked. So
Stoked.
you're wide awake. And
Turtle kaiju.
Honestly, as you drift off to sleep, Judith, you do dream. And kind of nice dreams. Kind of just, you probably won't remember them in the morning, but you're definitely not distressed as you sleep. And with that, we will catch up with you all and John and Lily's stories next week.
No, encore.
Vibe.
Marshals who are still with us, thank you so much for joining. We'll see you next week. We are getting close to that season finale, so do not miss a single episode. Also, please hit up that Ko-Fi button. That's what we're doing. That's how we're doing it here. We'd appreciate your support.
Love all the
Good night.
lurkers.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh my God.